Welcome to the sixth Thangka in the series of 15 Thangkas about Lama Tsongkhapa's life. So at the beginning of this Thangka, right at the bottom at 6 o'clock, Tsongkhapa is giving teachings on Kala Chakra and Pramana, valid cognition, and the middle way view to a group of disciples at this it's called Turmalung, what is it called? It's like a big cave, a grotto, right? Turmalung Grotto, it's this big cave. So Lama Tsongkhapa is teaching. At this time, he's also giving tantric initiations. And then we go around clockwise. So in this Thangka, Tsongkhapa is from about the age of 33 to about 36. So the next major event is he meets this fascinating person named Lama Omapa. So you see in the Thangka, there's a small deity. Actually, that's Manjushri. So the way Lama Tsongkhapa meets Omapa is, because remember earlier Tsongkhapa did this intensive retreat on Saraswati, this female Buddha who's an emanation of all the Buddha's wisdom. And he had a direct vision of her, and he seemed to have a very powerful connection with her. So he becomes kind of renowned as a person who has the ability to give the pure initiation into the practice of Saraswati. And actually this person, Lama Omapa, so I'll tell you a little bit about Lama Omapa. So he's from Kham. He was a nomad from an uneducated family, uneducated person. The early part of his life, he didn't even learn to read and write. He was a shepherd, right, looking after yaks and sheep and animals. And from the time he's a young boy, somehow he just miraculously has this vision of Manjushri, the Buddha of Wisdom, just appears to him as if, just as we see another person we're talking to, and he can talk with Manjushri and has this direct vision of Manjushri due to, of course, his past merit and practice in past lives. That is accumulating, causes he's created in past lives. So, and Manjushri tells him what to do, what teachers to go, where to go, who to take teachings from, what retreats to do, everything. So at one point, Manjushri tells him, okay, now it's time for you to go to Central Tibet and study for a while. So he studies for a few years in Central Tibet. And at one point, Manjushri tells him, okay, time for you to stop that and just enough study and go do meditation retreat. At one time, Manjushri tells Lama Omapa, you need to take the initiation of Saraswati from Tsongkhapa, from this person, right? So Lama Omapa, he meets these couple students of Tsongkhapa and asks them, where is your teacher, Tsongkhapa? I need to take this Saraswati initiation from him. So they introduce Lama Omapa to Tsongkhapa. And Lama Omapa, he's famous for having this direct vision of Manjushri, but Tsongkhapa wonders, is this for real or is this guy just crazy? Is he just totally deluded? So Tsongkhapa investigates. He analyzes the vision by asking Omapa questions that he knows Omapa doesn't know. So because Tsongkhapa is an incredible scholar, right? So he asks these difficult points and passages in Sutra and Tantra and in different texts. And Omapa asks Manjushri, and then gives answers back to Tsongkhapa. So through this way, Tsongkhapa is convinced that Lama Omapa's vision of Manjushri is valid, that he really is having a connection with this enlightened being, right? By that. So this very important relationship in Tsongkhapa's life begins, where there are four lamas that Tsongkhapa is mutually student and disciple with, right? So the first is Rendawa. Rendawa was one of Tsongkhapa's early teachers, but later in his life, Rendawa takes teachings from Tsongkhapa, so they're mutually student and disciple. Also, Lama Omapa is probably the second one. So first, Tsongkhapa gives the Saraswati initiation to Lama Omapa, but later on, very shortly later, Tsongkhapa takes teachings from Lama Omapa as well, right? So, and actually, Lama Tsongkhapa starts relying on Manjushri with Lama Omapa acting as an intermediary, asking about difficult points, difficult questions that Tsongkhapa has about Buddhist teachings, asking Manjushri about those through Lama Omapa, and even later on asking him about, advice for what to do in life. Like when Tsongkhapa is 36 years old, he's become a famous teacher. He has hundreds, if not thousands of disciples, and he's really already starting a kind of a renaissance, a new resurgence of Buddhism in central Tibet, based on his very clear understanding of the Buddhist teachings. And right in the middle of that, Manjushri tells Tsongkhapa, you should just drop everything and go do a retreat. There's no point trying to teach. Anyway, this will come up in the next Thangka. But anyway, this is all part of Tsongkhapa's relationship with Lama Omapa. So in this Thangka at about 7 o'clock, you see image of Manjushri, And at that point, Tsongkhapa that's the scene where Tsongkhapa is analyzing this vision of Lama Umapa to see if this vision of Manjushri that Lama Umapa has, to see if it's valid. In the next scene, just above that, Lama Tsongkhapa is one of 4 great lamas of that time who give extensive teachings to many people in the Lhasa area. Then, so go around clockwise. Again, Tsongkhapa is receiving another cycle of teachings from Manjushri, with Lama Umapa acting as an intermediary. So during this time, Tsongkhapa, he's finished his sutra studies and he's really focusing on studying Tantra. So he has in his dreams, he has very clear, vivid, prophetic dreams about tantric gurus that he should rely upon. So in one dream, he has a vision of this one teacher, Choe Pel, and in the dream, it appears to him that Choe Pel had received the great commentary on Kalachakra, the main commentary on Kalachakra from Buddha Rinpoche. It was one of the greatest scholar and practitioner in the generation before Tsongkhapa, had received this commentary on Kalachakra 17 times. Later, when he actually met that Lama, then he asked him, how many times did you receive this commentary from Buddha Rinpoche? And he said 17, right? Prophetic dream. Then, so Lama Tsongkhapa goes to meet Choe Pel and receives basically all of the teachings on Tantra that Choe Pel, all the lineages that he held. Around this time, another time, Lama Tsongkhapa has another dream in which this Lama appears wearing tantric paraphernalia, a crown and dakini headdress, and holding vajra and bell, and wearing like brocade, sort of the way deities are depicted wearing that kind of dress. And this Lama gets up off his throne and does like a tantric dance, circles around Tsongkhapa 3 times, and then places his vajra and bell on Tsongkhapa's head and gives him this tantric name, which is Karma Dorje. Right? And then Tsongkhapa awakes from this very vivid dream, and he wonders who this Lama is. He finds out that the Lama's name is Kimbolepa, and then he goes to receive teachings from that Lama. So this time, Lama Tsongkhapa is basically collecting all the tantric lineages that were, inherited by the Tibetans from ancient India, and studying and practicing those in order to understand actually how do you become enlightened, right? What is the complete path to enlightenment? So the final thing I want to talk about in this Thangka is at about 2 o'clock. You see there's a big image of Yamantaka, which is a wrathful aspect of the Bodhisattva, or the Buddha, Manjushri, Buddha of Wisdom. And then you see there's many other aspects of Manjushri all around Yamantaka. So at this time, and just above that, above to the left a little bit, you see these 2 figures in a small house drinking tea together. So basically what happened here is Lama Tsongkhapa did retreat in Lhasa, in the Potala in Lhasa, together with Lama Umapa. And they would meet for tea every afternoon, lunch and tea. So one afternoon they met for tea. I'm not sure why that's emphasized in the biography. But anyway, during that retreat, Lama Tsongkhapa suddenly has this very powerful vision of Manjushri in a huge halo of brilliant blue light. And it's from that time onwards, for the rest of his life, Lama Tsongkhapa can directly communicate, talk with, and see Manjushri. So at that time, Manjushri appears in many different forms and gives Tsongkhapa many different initiations. In each case, Manjushri himself transforms into the aspect of the different deity, gives an initiation. So one of the deities transforms into is Yamantaka, 13 deity Yamantaka. And also in that aspect of Yamantaka, Manjushri gives commands to these Dharma protectors to assist Tsongkhapa with his enlightened activities for the rest of his life. So it's said that from there afterwards, Tsongkhapa was assisted by these powerful, kind of wrathful, enlightened beings in all of his works. And then the rest of that Thangka, Tsongkhapa's giving different teachings. Finally, at the bottom of that Thangka, Manjushri tells Tsongkhapa to go into strict retreat, to stop teaching, as I was saying earlier, to go into strict retreat with these words, dwell in solitude like a rhinoceros, abandon all busyness and distraction. Right? So it's, in the commentary it doesn't say this, but in the oral kind of commentaries, it says that at this time, Lama Umapa was very worried that if Tsongkhapa just drops everything and goes into retreat, it'll be very harmful to the Buddha Dharma, the flourishing of the Buddha Dharma in Tibet. And so Umapa kind of complains to Manjushri. His Holiness Dalai Lama recounts the story often. And Manjushri says to Umapa kind of very sternly, just listen to what I say. I know who knows what's best for Dharma? I know. Just do what I say. It kind of gives a very strong command that at this time in his life, Tsongkhapa should, drop all kinds of busyness and activities and go into strict retreat. So from the beginning of the next Thangka, then we'll see Tsongkhapa going with his 8 closest disciples and going into strict retreat. So this is the end of the 6th Thangka.
Thank you.